The yarn represents the dendrites, and then the bracelet and the eraser represent the cell body, also known as the soma. And then the batteries are the axons, and the key being the axon hillock, which connects the axons to the cell body. And the baggies represent the myelin sheath, and the sunflower seeds represent the nodes of Ranvier, which connect each axon together. And the silver coins on the outside represent the positively charged sodium ions, and on the inside, the pennies represent negative chlorine ions. And then continuing on, the chapsticks represent the synaptic terminal, and the BBs represent the neurotransmitters, and then the buttons are the neighboring neuron and the neurotransmitter receptor sites. This neuron receives neurotransmitters from neighboring neuron, which then allows the electrical impulse to travel through the neuron. So the impulse enters from the neighboring neuron into this one now. Within the axons, there is resting potential with the positively charged ions on the outside and the negative ions on the inside. With the resting potential, each section of the axons then depolarized when the membranes open up and allow the positively charged ions to enter into the axons. And then this sets off a chain reaction or domino reaction, and then it continues down through each segment of the axon. And at the end of this, the positive ions are then pumped out, which then they're pumped out in the refractory period, which then allows the neuron or the axons to be fired again. The terminals then junction with the neighboring neuron, and instead of physically touching, they release neurotransmitters, and the neighboring cell has special sites to which the neurotransmitters bond. And any neurotransmitters that are not used up are then reabsorbed by the sending terminals in a process called reuptake. So to summarize, using this cotton ball as the action potential or the electric impulse received into the neuron, the potential is received from a neighboring neuron, and it travels from the dendrites through to the cell body, where it then travels through the axons, where the axons are polarized. The liquid inside the axon is polarized, which then allows a chain reaction to move down and push the impulse through to where it is reached in the synaptic terminals, and then the terminals release neurotransmitters, which then bond onto the bonding sites in the neighboring neuron.